I'm Tim Weston from the National Gamekeepers Organisation. In light of a recent announcement by the National Game Dealers Association, the NGO would like to put some views across. The NGO was signatories last February to a letter that asked the shooting community to voluntarily phase out the use of lead shotgun cartridges over a 5-year period. A recent announcement by the National Game Dealers Association after a vote at their AGM has told us and everybody that from July 2022, game dealers are hoping to not take in any game, birds or venison shot with lead ammunition. This is their decision, and a decision they have made for commercial reasons based on their customers' wants and will. The shooting organisations were hoping to have a more steadily controlled phased plan out, working over a 5-year period of which we're only 1 year into. This plan included working with shooting community, people who actually shoot, the cartridge manufacturers and manufacturers of weapons and other ammunition, as well as the game dealers and the food sector. The National Gamekeepers Organisation, of course, supports a sustainable future for shooting and one that is environmentally friendly. After all, gamekeepers are the biggest group of conservationists out there who actually get on the ground and do the job. Finding an alternative to lead ammunition is a task that is already well underway, and massive strides have been made even in the last 12 months. A phased plan is always preferential to a knee-jerk reaction, but these things happen, and this is in no way pushed forward by legislation or the shooting organisations. It's a decision made by the food sector and the buyers of game. From today, game dealers for this coming season, this winter, are not asking for birds to be bought in shot with other compounds. Any compound at the minute that's legal will do. The requirement for some game dealers to have lead-free pheasants and deer will be officially, as the NGDDA said, in 2022. Some game dealers will be asking for birds and game shot earlier, and some will be later. So you need to have that conversation with your game dealer. Those of you who are still shooting for yourself for the pot and who are shooting small quantities that you consume yourself or give away to friends and family can of course use any compound. It must be stressed that at the minute it is only birds and deer that are going to AGHEs, approved game meat handling establishments, that have signed up to the National Game Dealers Association's requirement for lead-free game. Although a 5-year voluntary phase-out of lead shot was planned, the game dealers have taken the steps earlier, but this doesn't mean this is placed into legislation and law. This is still voluntary and will still depend on your game dealer. Gamekeepers have always strived to improve habitat and the environment, and have always found ways of improving what we're doing and making things better. By not using lead doesn't necessarily mean things are going to get worse. It means we're going to have to work in a slightly different way, and it's just something else to overcome that I'm sure as a sector we can do. It's worth remembering that the vast majority of our game shot in this country in terms of birds goes through AGHEs, approved game meat handling establishments. And it's also worth remembering that these establishments are there to support us and help us. Game dealers sell game, and it's the buyers of the game that dictate what they want to buy. In this instance, the buyers have dictated the fact that they would like to buy game that is lead-free, and the game dealers are able to supply that, and we're willing to do it too.